Last chapter in this season or semester is about the decision theory. One of the most impactful approach in operation research, decision theory. This approach has a strong relation and interrelated with other approaches like game theory. Every day we make many decisions, and occasionally we make an important decisions that can have immediate short run or long run effects on our lives. Decisions like where to attend university or not, whether to rent or to buy a car, whether your company should accept a merger proposal or visibility study, whether to run a cold drink, hot one. Very various and wide decision can be taken in the process of our life. A decision in general may be defined as the selection by the decision maker of an act considered to be best according to some very designed standard from among of the several options. So, in order to take an optimal decision, we have to follow some steps in the process of taking and providing the best decision. Let us acknowledge you with the details of this theory. As we mentioned before, decisions like where to attend class, whether to buy or rent, whether your firm should accept proposal, are important decisions for which we prefer to make a correct choice. Decision theory is an analytical and systematic approach. To study decision making for providing the best decision based on logic, data, and facts. So the decision making, it is not randomly or dummy action, but is based on logical sequences using various approaches, quantitative as well as qualitative. So that's why we describe decision theory as analytical and systematic approach. This analytical and systematic approach depends on logic, data, information, and fact. The success of decision is determined by following of logical steps. So usually decision maker have to choose the best alternative among various alternatives. So the steps of making decisions are: number one is to determine the various alternative courses of action from which the final decision is to be made. No. A decision maker faces various alternatives. In order to choose the best alternative among these various alternatives, firstly he need to identify the criteria to measure the best alternative or to evaluate the best alternative. Then identify the possible outcomes called the state of natures of event. So now construct a payoff table. Choose the criterion which result in largest payoff. This from the point of analytical and systematical approach. Payoff, profit, and loss, cost. So, steps in this manner to determine the various alternative courses of action from which the final decision is to be made. Identify the possible outcomes called state of natures or states of nature or event. Construct a payoff table. Choose the criterion which result in a largest payoff. So choose the criterion. What that means? There are various and many criterions and different criterions which help decision maker to choose the best decision or the best choice. Okay. Refer to previous steps. Let us introduce how to construct a table of payoff. A firm manufactures three types of products: product A, product B, and product C. Each of these products has its fixed cost and variable cost. For example, product A has a fixed cost of $25,000 while its variable cost of $12. Product B has $35,000 while its variable cost is $9,000, of course. Product C had $53,000 while its variable cost equal $7,000. Now, each product faces three levels of demand: poor demand, moderate demand, and high demand. So, for example, if product B faces moderate demand, then the demand of product B equal 7,000 units. If it faces poor demand, then the demand of product B equal 3,000 units. Now, we have three products. Each of them faces three levels of demand: poor, moderate, and high. Then the conditions or the phases or the forms of total demand are 9. 3 products multiplied by 3 phases of demand or 3 levels of demand. Product A has 3 levels: poor, moderate, and high, respectively product B and product C. So there are 9 levels of demand. Now, given the price of unit equal $25, then we can easily conduct a table of payoff based on this, on the given data, the payoff table. Now we would like to learn how to build a payoff table according to the given information and data. Okay. required. If the sale price of each type of product is $25, then prepare the payoff matrix. Assume D1, D2, D3 denote poor, moderate, and high demand, respectively. Payoff equal sales revenue, the price multiplied by quantity. The revenue equal price of one unit multiplied by the quantity of the product, negative total cost. Total cost means fixed plus variable cost. Fixed is given, variable cost, it is the quantity of product multiplied by the variable cost. So the calculations for payoff for each pair of alternative demand, which is course of action, and the types of product state of nature are shown. D1A, it is, what do we mean by D1A? Demand of product, poor demand of product A. D1P means poor demand of product B. D1C means poor demand of product C. Okay, now the common quantity of these three products as poor demand is 3,000. So the revenue of all types of product A, product B, and product C should equal 3 multiplied by 25, because 3 is the quantity demanded as poor demand is 3,000 units, and the price is fixed equal $25. So the operation 3 times 25 is common between these three types. Negative 25 also, no, negative 25 is depends, it show the fixed cost of product A, 35 the fixed cost of product B, and 53 the fixed cost of product C. Also the variable cost is different, 12 for A, 9 for B, and 7 for C. So the poor demand of product A is 3 times 25. 3 is quantity, 25 is price, negative 25, it is fixed cost, negative 3, it is a quantity, times 12. 3 times 12 is a variable cost. The result is 15. D1P, poor demand for product B, is 3 times 25. 3 is poor demand of B, 25 is the price, negative 35 is the fixed cost of product B, and negative 3 is the quantity of poor demand, times 9. 9 is the variable cost of product B, 13. The poor demand of C also equals 3000 units. Multiply by the price is 25. Negative 53. 53 is the fixed cost of product C. Negative 3 is the quantity, the poor quantity of demand, and times 7. 7 is a variable cost of product C. Okay, let's move to the moderate demand. The moderate demand for each product equals 7,000. Then for A is 7,000 multiplied by 25, the price is constant. Negative 25, the fixed cost of product A, times 7, negative 7 times 12, which is 66. Moderate demand of product B is 7,000 unit times 25 is price. Negative 35 is the fixed cost of product B. Negative 7 times 9. 9 is the variable cost of product B. The moderate demand for product C is 7. 7 is common quantity between these three types of product, times 25 sell price. Negative 53 is the fixed cost of product C, times 7. Negative 7 times 7 is the variable cost of 7,000 units. The result is 73. Now, etc. The shown table stands for the various demand A, demand B, demand C, and depends on the various level of demand. For example, A, when demand is poor is 14, when demand is moderate is 66, when demand is high is 118. So this is the events, and this state of nature, and this A event is the course of action, and alternative demand is the state of nature. For product B, when demand is poor is 13 units, when demand is moderate 77, when demand is high is 141 respectively. For product C, when demand is poor, the quantity demanded is 1 unit. When demand is moderate, 73 is demanded. When demand is high, so 145 units is demanded. Now, this how to construct a payoff matrix using various givens. Okay, decision making environment. To make a decision is depending upon environment. The form of decision is controlled by the environment in which the decision is making. Decision analysis is aimed to determine optimum strategies, or decision analysis is aimed to make a best decision or to determine an optimal strategy where a decision maker is faced with various alternatives. In this manner, we classify 4 forms of environments. These environments impacts on the design of a decisions. 4 forms of environment under which the decisions are taken. Decision and certainty. Certainty means there is no doubt related to outcomes. Everything is given: information, data, fact. So no doubt about the related outcomes which resulting from the decision under certainty. Suitable examples are decisions that cause the deterministic problems: linear programming, transportation model, assignment model, sequences model, etc. The most complicated decisions which are taken under uncertainty. This refers to situations where more than one outcome can result from any single outcome. So, we will give special attention to this environment. The environment under uncertainty is called uncertainty. Uncertainty, it is an environment. Certainty, it is environment. Risk, it is environment. Conflict, it is environment. Decision under risk refers to decisions wherein the decision maker chooses from among several possible outcomes. We will neglect this form of decision. The last decision under conflict. Neither states of nature are completely known nor are completely uncertain. We are not going in depth to explain this form of environment. Once the decision under certainty is known, or we almost tested this form of decision, by explaining the linear programming methods. Then we will focus on the decisions under uncertainty. The decisions under uncertainty. We already made a decision under certainty by explaining or by passing simplex methods, graphical methods, transportation methods, assignment method, etc., and dualistic methods. Generally, we will focus on the decision under uncertainty. Okay, as we promised, we will center our our approach on the decision under uncertainty. There are 5 approaches of decision under uncertainty. Maximax or minimax, criterion, Hewitt's criterion, Laplace criterion, minimax regret criterion, maximax criterion, maximine criterion. So let's introduce with criterion of pessimism. التشاؤم. Minimax or maximin. Maximin is a conservative approach to assume worst possible outcomes. This approach involves 2 steps. First, we need to find the minimum payoff for each alternative. That means we need to construct a table of payoff. First step, to find the minimum payoff for each alternative. Step 2, to choose the maximum of minimum value. First, determine the minimum, then to choose a maximum among these minimums. Minimax, from other hand, involve 2 steps, opposite of that manner. To determine the maximum payoff, then to choose the minimum of that maximums, of those maximums. Minimax again. To find the minimum payoff for each alternative. Okay, so that means all our payoffs are minimum. Then among these minimums, there is more minimum, max minimum. The max minimum, the maximum of minimum, is maximine. Otherwise, in option of minimax, we need to determine the maximum payoff. Inside this table of maximums, we will choose the minimum of those maximums. This which is known max min and mini max. Criterion of optimism and Laplace criterion. Minimin or maximax. Again, the criterion based on extreme optimism, where decision maker should not miss the opportunity to gain the greatest possible payoff. The steps of conducting maximax: determine maximum possible payoff, then select an alternative which corresponds to maximum of above maximum payoff. Easy. Now we design table which consists of various maximums. For example, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. From 1 up to 9 or up to 10, there are 10 maximums. Then the maximum of these maximums is 10. Then the alternative of 10 should be chosen, because the maximum of maximum. Minimin, on the contrary, table consists of various minimums starting from 1 up to 10. The minimum among these 10 alternative is 1. Say, for example, 1 belongs to alternative A, then A should be chosen because it got the minimum of the minimum. This which we call the criterion of optimism. You have to distinguish between the criterion of pessimism and criterion of optimism. Max min or min max is a criterion of pessimism. Minimin or maximax are the criterion of optimism. التشاؤم والتفاؤل. Okay. Laplace criterion. This criterion assumes that all states of nature will occur with equal probability. Probability is given by 1 over number of states of nature or event. If the events are 3, then the probability equal 1 over 3. If the events are 4, then the probability equal 1 over 4, and involves following steps. First step, assign equal probabilities to each payoff of a strategy. Then determine the expected payoff value of each alternative and select alternative of some of maximum payoff or minimum cost. Wonderful. Okay, Laplace criterion. First step is to determine the probability. Equal probability. Probability is given by 1 over the number of states of nature. We don't know how the status of nature, maybe 9, 10, whatever. And then after that we are going to insert the following steps. Assign equal probability to each payoff, then determine the expected payoff value for each alternative, and select alternative with the maximum payoff or minimum cost. Don't worry, we will apply practically these approaches or criterions. Okay, here is criterion or criterion of realism. This criterion suggests that a rational decision maker should neither be completely optimistic nor pessimistic. اتخذ القرار لا متفائل لا متشائم. And therefore must display a mixture of both optimistic and pessimistic. Which discover the idea of a coefficient of optimism alpha, which lies between 0 and 1. Thus, if alpha is the coefficient of optimism, then 1 negative alpha represents the coefficient of pessimism. Steps: decide the coefficient of optimism alpha and of pessimism 1 negative alpha. Then determine the maximum and the minimum payoff. Find H equal alpha times the maximum for each alternative plus 1 negative alpha times the minimum of each alternative. Select the alternative with the highest value of H. Coefficient معامل طبعا. Decide the coefficient of optimism alpha and of pessimism 1 minus alpha. Then determine the maximum and the minimum payoff. The last column. H equal alpha times maximum for each alternative plus 1 negative alpha times the minimum of each alternative. Select the alternative with the highest value of H. criterion of regret, الندم, or minimax regret. In this case, decision maker feels regret after adopting a wrong alternative, resulting in an opportunity loss of payoff. Feelings of regret, شعور بالندم. Steps: develop an opportunity loss or regret matrix. The best payoff to each state of nature. Of course, maximum for profit and minimum for cost. Then determine the maximum regret. Inside or among these maximums or maximum of regrets, choose the alternative with the minimum regret. There are various levels of maximum regret. Inside this, among these levels of maximum regret, choose the minimum regret of those maximum regrets. Okay, stay positive. Collect your paper and pen. The serious stage of our lecture. Application of criterions. Now, farmer want to decide which of 3 crops he should plant on his 100-acre farm. Now, the profit depends on the rainfall during the season. يعتمد على المطر يعني خلال الموسم. The farmer has classified the rainfall as high, medium and low. أمطار شديدة، أمطار متوسطة، أمطار ضعيفة. He estimated profit of each as follow. طيب. When the rain is high, the expected profit of crop A is $8,000. Of crop B is 3,500, and is of crop C is $5,100. When the rainfall is medium, then he estimated his profit of crop A 4,500 for A, again 4,500 for B, and 5,000 for C. The last expectations are when the rainfall is low is 2,000 for crop A, 5,000 for B, and 4,000 for C. But farmer wishes to grow or to plant only one crop. Decide which is the best using maximax, maximine, Howitz, Laplace, and regret criterion. Collect your energy and let us collectively apply the previous instructions and steps to advise this smart farmer. Okay. This is table 1, payoff matrix. Rainfall, high, medium, low. Maxi payoff and min payoff. Estimated conditional profit. Check the column and the group A. Various levels of profit: 8,000, 4,500, 2,000. The maximum among these three indicators is 8,000. The minimum is 2,000. Let us shift to the right for group B, where the maximum payoff is 5,000 and the minimum payoff is 3,500. For group C, the maximum also here is 5,000 and the minimum is 4,000. A. Maximax payoff is 8,000. Then the best strategy is to choose group A. Compare with the group B, 5,000 only, and group C, 5,000 only. Let us move to the next, maximine. The various levels of mines are 2,000, 3,500 and 4,000. The maximum among these mine payoff is 4,000. Hence, the best alternative is C. Do you see how it is attractive and excited? Very possible. Very possible. Very easy. Just draw the table of payoff. Add row of max payoff and add row of mine payoff according to the given data. The best profit for group A is 8,000. The maximum. The minimum is 2,000. For B, the maximum is 5,000. The minimum is 3,500. For C, the maximum is 5,000. The minimum is 4,000. Then the maximum of the maximum is 8,000. Thus A is attractive. Group A is attractive. The max mine among 2,000, 3,500 and 4,000 is 4,000. Then the best alternative is group C. Is group C. Its criterion. Its criterion. Given the coefficient alpha equals 0.6. This for optimism. For pessimism is 1 negative alpha 0.4, and refer to table 1. The maximum payoff for group A is 8,000, for B is 5,000, for C also is 5,000. My payoff for A is 2,000, for B 3,500, for C is 4,000. Okay, now we are going to calculate what? H. H equal alpha, the coefficient alpha, multiply by what? By maximum, of course. Multiply by I plus 1 negative alpha multiply by double I. I, it is max, logical, and double I, it is mine. So H equal alpha times I, or between brackets max payoff, plus 1 negative alpha times double I. Double I stands for mine payoff. So $8,000 or 0.6 multiplied by 8,000 plus 0.4 multiplied by 2,000. The result is what? 5,600. This ash for group A. For group B, respectively, 0.6 times 5,000 plus 0.4 times 3,500. The result is 4,400. For group C, the max payoff is 5,000. The mine payoff is 4,000. Then ash equal 0.6 multiplied by 5,000 plus 0.4 multiplied by 4,000. The result is 4,600. The maximum value of ash is 5,600, corresponding to group A. Hence, the best choice is A. Okay, that's good. It's according to what? Howitz criterion. Howitz criterion. let's move to Laplace criterion. There are three states of nature. There are three states of nature. Then Laplace criterion, referring to the first table or to the given table. There are three states of nature for each group. For A, it is 8,000, 4,500 and 2,000. Three states of nature. Okay, three states: high rainfall, medium rainfall and low rainfall. Please don't focus on the given table. Return back to the first table. Now, estimation, group A equal 1 over 3 state of nature, then 1 over 3 multiply by 8,000 plus 4,500 plus 2,000. The harvest is 4,833. For group B is again 1 over 3 because they are also three states of nature. 1 over 3 should be multiplied by 2,000 plus 3,500 plus 4,000. The result is 4,333. For group A is for group C again 1 over 3 multiply by 5,000 plus 5,000 plus 4,000 equal 4,666. This is Laplace criterion. The Laplace criterion. Okay. Now, the maximum expected value according to the above calculation is 4,833 for group A. Hence, group A is said to be the best choice. Is said to be the best choice. Okay. I would like you to storm your brain and to conduct the solution of the regret criterion. The regret criterion. It will be very rational issue to understand the theory of decision. I would like to thank you very much for your patience. This is the last lecture of operations research. I will do my best to react to your questions, problems, as I promised before. Do your best. Try to jump over the difficulties, struggle, and as we say, Giddam, go Giddam, and I'm trusting your spirit and well. take your decisions, never give up.